Hey there guys, welcome to the next time-lapse here on the channel. This is going to be a Clash of Clans time-lapse. I've never actually played the game. This was a complete request from the live stream I did on the channel about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I did get a lot of requests from that live stream. I have them all on my card here that I wrote down, and one of the ones on there was Clash of Clans, so that was kind of the next one I decided to do for the time-lapse here. It's going to be an all solid white background, and this is kind of a momentous occasion because this is the last piece of cardstock paper I have, so I'm going to have to get a bunch more to work on all these time lapses in the future. I had a whole bunch of it. I probably had maybe 50 or 60 sheets, and I've used every single one of them, so that's a lot of different time lapses with one being each week. So pretty cool. That's a lot of time lapses. Working on the logo for the Clash of Clans now. Working on all the text. Three main colors I'm going to use in this one are the kind of the beige color, some red, and mostly the gold, which I'm going to be working on the entire amount of the text in the gold duct tape. It's been a while since I used the gold. I'm not typically a huge fan of it because of the way a lot of the chrome and gold tape kind of loses its shine after a long time. It kind of just almost kind of rubs off in the sense. Even if you're not really using it, it kind of just the surface kind of tarnishes almost, which is really interesting. So it's not something I use too often, but when I do, I often use the chrome a lot more than the gold. But I think the gold worked a lot better for this specific logo here. So we're working on cutting out each individual one of those letters now. Some of them are kind of connected together, some of them aren't, so it's kind of like a trick of figuring out which ones kind of connect and which ones don't. But I kind of have to split them in half to kind of peel them all off and kind of stick them on. So using the shield and the arrows is kind of my guideline. I'm going to use those to kind of stick everything down and kind of go up and down here with the top and then the bottom with the two different words to work on exactly how to stick it down and make sure that it works. One of the hardest parts when you're working on one of these logos, and kind of logos that fill the entire amount of the page, is making sure they're even on both the left and the right side. Up and down is not too hard. Vertically, it's fairly simple to get the same amount on the top and bottom, but you always want to make sure you have kind of the right amount of room of empty space on the left, kind of the left part of the C, and also on the right part of the shield on the other end. And that's kind of one of the hardest parts of working on a time lapse, most of the time lapses really, to kind of center it. In the past, a few of my time lapses really haven't centered very well, and I've definitely noticed them as I'm sticking the whole thing down. Sometimes you can kind of just go over once again and kind of re-stick everything, but when it's a whole bunch of different pieces, it takes a long time to do that if you really want to spend the time to redo the entire thing. Once everything's stuck down, it kind of ends up being stuck down in a sense. So I cut out the entire shield out of gold. That's going to be the background. I'm going to use a little bit of layering decoration here with the beige tape as well as the red to kind of give that shield those two-tone colors. And of course I have my arrows there, which will eventually be stuck right on top. So I kind of have to cut around those at the moment. Before I forget, there will be a tutorial coming tomorrow. I'm probably going to be filming a tutorial on how to make the duct tape wristlet. I've added a few more extra things to it, so it'll be really cool. That was the time lapse I filmed last week, and that's going to be coming tomorrow in a tutorial, so that's going to be pretty awesome. Going to have to watch out for that when it hits the channel. And now working on those arrows, kind of sticking those down. They're kind of interesting arrows. It's kind of a whole video game kind of cartoon-ish logo, so it's kind of a little awkward with the way the arrows are kind of thicker in the middle and then kind of thinner on the ends. It doesn't really make too much sense, but it kind of lends to the whole cartoonish video game quality of the logo here. It's definitely what this whole logo is about. So working on the last part here, and we're about 15 seconds away. There, of course, is the finished product, Clash of Clans. So thank you to whoever kind of messaged me that request on the live stream last week. And there's the video. So hope you guys like it. Watch out for the tutorial coming tomorrow. So there's the Clash of Clans time lapse. Catch you tomorrow.